I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me, my friend.
Of course, anytime.
I wanted to ask you if you could take me back in time a little bit and tell me how the band formed.
So it formed from our singer and drummer, Tyler English, our singer, and our drummer Diesel Dave. They were both in one. They're both cousins by marriage, so they're already pretty close. They formed a band that ended up fizzling out. Creative differences hit. So after that band disformed, they brought in Zachary Bush or Zach Lethal, our lead guitarist. They brought him in to, start putting ideas together. He reached out, Zach reached out to me to play bass. And I was all for it. I was beyond excited. After that, we reached out to our rhythm guitarist. And yeah, that's pretty much history. We started early 2024.
And would you say that on the album, were songs already starting to be created in 24 for this release?
Yes, we the first song we wrote as a full cohesive band was Strangers. We wrote Heretic and Wounded Hearts in 2024 as well. Trying to get us booked to shows. We we married with the idea of covering Damage Case. So that was another song we that was another one of the first songs that we played to like warm up
Sure.
and man, I can't remember. It's many beers ago.
And
I, I,
Dogfighters is a great
I,
track on the album. At what point was that song conceived?
Dogfighters was beginning of 2025, if I'm not mistaken. And same case with Hypnotized. We wrote those in 2025.
And in the making of the album, were there any tracks that didn't make the cut?
No, just about all the songs on the album were we wrote and were intended for the album and were put on the album. We were really just trying to get the album out, but without rushing songs and
Mhm.
trying to write filler. We didn't want to do that.
Right.
So
And that's a testament to the album because it is all killer, no filler, no doubt. I wanted to ask you, we talked a bit about Wounded Hearts. I wanted to ask you, um, how did that song come to you conceptually as a band?
it came the same way a lot of our songs come. Usually, Zach Lethal, our lead guitarist, he has a lot of experience writing songs. He's been in like 4 or 5 other different bands, so he's had the years and the knowledge to just hey, check this riff out, or try this chord progression. He'll bring that. Tyler will. He's always coming up with just lyrics. I've seen his phone. He has like all these different lyrics stored in his notes. So he's like, well, this could be a song, and they'll come together. Especially they used to live together, so they would come together with these ideas. Then they would bring these ideas to our band practice, and then that's when Jake, our rhythm, me, him, and David, we hear Tyler sing and Zach play along, and we're like, okay, well, let's try, boom, boom, let's try fitting that in. And it's just, yeah, it just came from the idea of from Zach.
And I wanted to ask you as well, if you could speak on the album artwork and the artist that was involved.
I definitely can. The artist that was involved is none other than our own Tyler.
Wow.
Our singer, he is a very creative, talented, not only lyricist, but he also he's a kick-ass drawer and painter. So he did that all himself.
Wow. I want
And sorry, the
to,
same for all our single artwork has all been him.
wow. That is fucking fantastic, man. As far as the album and the laying down of the tracks, how long did it take to lay down the album?
I think we spent about from from start recording to finish recording.
Yes.
That that didn't really take too long. I would estimate about 4 months. So we did, even though we did have the singles, we did revisit the singles that we did make before the album. Kind of revisited those a bit. So I'd say about 4, maybe 5 months to record everything.
And now the album is out. I wanted to ask you, what can fans look for next? Will you take to the road?
So album is out. We're all celebrating. It's awesome, but we haven't stopped. We have two new songs that aren't on the album yet that we haven't recorded. Already, we wrote those immediately after releasing the album. I know the guys. We talked about getting in the studio here soon to record both of these songs and releasing one of them down the road, probably about late fall, mid to late fallish.
Mhm.
You got to keep the people wanting more.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
give them that little crumb and the foam at the mouth.
And will you tour on this album?
What was that?
Will you tour this album?
Mm, We don't have any plans for it right now. We just finished up with a little mini tour, kind of dipping our feet in the water.
Hmm.
Last weekend, we went to Toronto and Montreal, Ontario, in Canada. We did back to back shows there. So with all our work schedules, it makes it a little tricky. We definitely have to plan out because we all have full time jobs. I'm in the military. It's it's very tricky to navigate planning out a tour just yet. But like I said, we dipped our toes in a little mini tour with our good friends, Ready to Strike, another upstate New York glam metal band. It was just a good time.
And you're from New York. I wanted to
Yep.
ask you, how is the scene in New York now?
It's definitely a little tricky. A lot of the scene in New York, especially in the Rochester and Syracuse area, is more like death metal orientated. I know there's a lot of punk shows going on. It's not really too many bands of our style. That's why we end up playing with, like I said earlier, very good friends Ready to Strike out of
Hmm.
Syracuse. We end up playing a lot of shows with them because they're in the area, at least that I know of, they're the most closest to us, music wise.
I wanted to ask you as well if you could take me back in time and tell me how your musical journey started.
So me myself, it was it started out of boredom during COVID. I've only been playing since October of 21. During COVID, I had a lot of free time. I dug out my old Wii that had Guitar Hero. I had like Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero 3, all these Guitar Hero games, and I would just sit there play Guitar Hero constantly. And then, you know, so with me being in the National Guard, we have our 1 week in a month, thing where we got to show up and play Army for a weekend. I was talking to one of my really good friends, this, back in 2021, and he said that he had a bass guitar just sitting in his basement. It was in rough shape, but he was like, "You can have it." I was like, "Sweet, thank you, man." I figured to myself, well, I can't mess up 4 strings. 6 strings, I could see myself, messing up, but I can't mess up 4 strings. So he gave me the bass. I went over to another really good buddy of mine's house. He helped me fix it up, and he taught me how to play Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. And from there, he taught me to read tablature too. And just from there, COVID was still a thing around then too. So I still had so much free time. And here we are.
And during this time, what has been the best advice that has been given to you?
Oh, man. I would say it would be that same friend that helped me set up the bass and taught me. He told me to have fun with it. And I really do think that Tykin embodies that
Yes,
motto. Have fun with it. We take ourselves seriously, but we're not too serious to
right.
where we're all super strict. And
And when you're not working on music, what do you enjoy?
oh, I so me personally, I do play computer games a lot when I'm not practicing. Um, I'm a big pool and dart player. I'm in a dart league once a week, and I usually play pool at while I'm there because it's at a bar. So I'm big into doing that. But nowadays, just with work, I work pretty much 11 hours a day. So by the time I get home, if I don't have practice for my league, I'm like, I don't want to do nothing.
And we spoke on the album, and it's amazing from top to bottom. How can people get a hold of this album and any merchandise that you have?
So our album is streaming on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple Music. Uh, the album's name is Dripping Poison, and Tykin, spelled Tykin. We have music videos on our YouTube page, Tykin Official, and we do have a website. Give me one sec. I remember what the webs tykinband.com. That's what it is.
And
Uh oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
And from there we have merch, we have links to all of our social media, links to our videos.
And I wanted to ask you, is it safe to say that you talked about you were already worked on a couple tracks for the next release. I wanted to ask you, are you looking to release it in next year?
By the next year, I think that is a reasonable thing that we can accomplish.
And lastly, my friend, I wanted to ask you if you could give a message to your fans, what message would you give them?
I'd say keep rocking, have fun, have a couple of drinks, and just head bang your heart out.
Well, I wanted to take a moment to thank you for creating an album that I enjoyed from top to bottom. The album has great flow, and is, speaking of having a few drinks, is a great compliment to a great evening out. Please, please feel free to contact me with any new news as it comes about, my friend. I'll get it out for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.